coffee-flavored candies, coffee-flavored sweets, sold it to the children, for several years. And then followed them as they were going through school. When they got to university, they moved into the universities and set up cafes at the universities that sold the coffee. And then by the time those children became adults, Japan became a coffee importing country. To the extent that now I think Japan does over It's a large quantity of coffee. They import coffee on a large quantity, but they had to cultivate the taste. That cultivating of taste reinforces the fact that we humans are programmable. We actually run on programs. We run on operating systems. Mr. Alajide is a software engineer. I need to be careful how I use the terminology because that's not my field. But then they say in the computer world, garbage in, garbage out, right? I think I like the word program. That's the fact. We humans run on programs. A lot of transformation efforts fail in our world. Just like Nestle's attempt to sell coffee to the Japanese. And we leaders know that. At the individual level, transformation efforts fail. A lot of people, this is still early part of this year, and a lot of people made New Year resolutions at the beginning of this year. Many of those resolutions are bad accidents already, right? If you've been into that before, you know. It's easy making the resolution. A lot of organizations set goals. Many organizations do not achieve their goals. So a lot of transformation efforts fail in our world. And you ask why? It is because of our internal programming system. We humans are creators of habits. You do something continuously, it becomes routine. The conscious mind pushes it down to the subconscious. Now when we say subconscious, it will seem as if, it means a part that is not visible or important. But that subconscious is even more powerful than the conscious part of the mind. Once it moves into that subconscious, it just takes on a life of its own, like a seed that entered the soil. Something enters the seed, and a creature, a tree, a plant that has never existed before just begins to come out with invisible power. That's how it works. When you do something routinely over time and it goes down to that subconscious, puts our lives on autopilot. That was what happened to the Japanese. They had been programmed to drink coffee, and they had been programmed to drink tea, and they needed a new program for drinking coffee. So, when we set goals, the goals are not in alignment with the programming. The programming overrides the goals. This happens at the individual level. It also happens at the corporate level, the collective level. I've also been sharing in recent times something that happened to us in Atlanta. We decided schools with first-class buildings, laboratories and equipment, offering free education up to secondary school at the minimum. I see higher institutions and technical schools turning out professionals, teachers, and technicians who are among the best in the world. I see groundbreaking research taking place at our universities and research centers. And I see such impacting on our industries and subsequently the rate of development in the country. I see rows after rows of residential apartments springing up in our new cities. I see also beautiful skyscrapers adorning our skylines. Some are residential apartments while others are commercial buildings. I see a new financial arrangement where the average Nigerian who has a job gets a mortgage at a low interest rate and buys a home, and those who pay rent can pay monthly from their regular income without stress. I see multitudes of people applying for visas to visit Nigeria as tourists. all year round, bringing in foreign exchange that will strengthen our economy. I see the coastline, mountains, waterfalls, and other attractive sites being visited by tourists. I see game parks and hotels springing up across the country, with families traveling around the country on holidays. I see an explosion of businesses across the country, as it will become easier to register and run a business. I see those businesses creating mass employment, products and services. I see the businesses and their employees paying taxes to government that will make the income from the sale of crude oil look like chicken change. I see a new kind of political leadership where most who hold office will be successful entrepreneurs who will not need to use their offices for accumulation of wealth. I see free and fair elections and elected officers fully accountable to the electorate for their actions in office. I see bills being passed that will value and empower citizens and enable them to dream and fulfill their dreams. I see protection and empowerment being offered the disabled and vulnerable members of our society. I see broadband internet connection in every home and office in the country. I see people paying for goods and services in the comfort of their homes, having the products delivered to their doorsteps. That's happening already now. I see an effective postal system with next day delivery anywhere across the country. This is the Nigeria of my dream, your future reality and mine, and the future reality for our children and theirs. With hard work and God's help, our dream shall come to pass. This is the dream I have for this nation, and the dream I have practically for all of Africa, and I have for all developing nations, and practically for every nation in the world. In our quest to build the Nigeria of our dreams, we must agree on the values and behaviors that will make our dreams possible. I propose sacrificial love as the foundation. It breeds willingness to serve, kindness, and generosity. This sacrificial love breeds excellence. It breeds value for life. We must not relent. God will use you and use me to take Nigeria to her place in destiny. You have what it takes to bring about change in your own immediate environment. So start in your own little way. Model the new Nigeria. Then join the company of new Nigerians evolving all around the nation. In a few years, our country will become the envy of many nations. Thank you for listening to me, and thank you for attending the Chief Conference 2026.